quizzes to sleep. Get comfortable, settle in, and close your eyes. There's no pressure, no need to keep score. You can feel free to put your device down, as this quiz is designed purely for listening. This is just a gentle quiz to help quiet your mind and guide you toward rest. Tonight's topic is cosmos and space. Let's begin. The sun is a star. True or false? True. The sun is star at the center of our solar system. Mars is the largest planet in our solar system. True or false? False. Jupiter is the largest planet. The moon is a planet. True or false? False. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. True or false? True. Its thick atmosphere traps heat, making it hotter than Mercury. Humans have walked on Mars. True or false? False. Humans have only walked on the moon. The Milky Way is the only galaxy in the universe. True or false? False. There are billions of other galaxies. Pluto is classified as a dwarf planet. True or false? True. In 2006, its classification was changed from a planet. A light year is a measure of time. True or false? False. A light year is a measure of distance. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is a large storm. True or false? True. It is a persistent storm larger than Earth. Saturn is the only planet with rings. True or false? False. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune also have rings, though they are fainter. Earth has 2 moons. True or false? False. Earth has only 1 moon. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. True or false? True. is the innermost planet in our solar system. The Sun orbits the Earth. False. The Earth orbits the Sun. Halley's Comet is visible from Earth every 10 years. True or false? False. It is visible roughly every 75 to 76 years. The Andromeda Galaxy is moving toward the Milky Way. True or false? True. They are expected to collide in several billion years. There are 8 planets in our solar system. True or false? True. These planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. A black hole is an area where gravity pulls so much that light cannot get out. True or false? True. This is the defining characteristic of a black hole. Uranus rotates on its side. True or false? True. It has the most extreme axial tilt of any planet. The asteroid belt is located between Earth and Mars. True or false? False. It is located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. A constellation is a group of stars that forms a pattern. True or false? True. People have named these patterns like Orion or Ursa Major. All planets in our solar system have solid surfaces. True or false? False. Jupiter and Saturn are gas giants. Uranus and Neptune are ice giants. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun. True or false? True. It is the 8th and most distant planet. The largest volcano in the solar system is on Earth. True or false? False. Olympus Mons, the largest volcano, is on Mars. The first man-made white object in space was Sputnik 1. True or false? False. Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite in orbit. Human-made rockets reached space earlier. Mars is known as the Red Planet. True or false? True. This is due to the iron oxide, or rust, on its surface. Venus has no moons. True or false? True. Both Mercury and Venus are the only planets in our solar system without moons. The sun is mostly made of iron. True or false? False. The sun is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium gas. Earth is the third planet from the sun. True or false? True. The order is Mercury, Venus, Earth, and then Mars. Jupiter is a gas giant. True or false? True. It is the largest of the gas giants in our solar system. The moon's gravity causes tides on Earth. True or false? True. The gravitational pull of the moon creates high and low tides in our oceans. A supernova is the death of a very small star. True or false? False. A supernova is a powerful explosion marking the end of a very large star. The International Space Station orbits Mars. True or false? False. It is in low Earth orbit, orbiting our own planet. You can see the Great Wall of China from the moon. True or false? False. This is a common myth. It is not visible from that distance. Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. True or false? True. These are two small asteroid-like moons. The speed of light is constant everywhere in a vacuum. or false? True. It is a fundamental constant of nature. Saturn is denser than water. True or false? False. Saturn is the least dense planet. It would float in water if there were a large enough ocean. The sun will eventually become a black hole. True or false? False. The sun is not massive enough. It will become a white dwarf. A meteor is a space rock that has landed on Earth's surface. True or false? False. A space rock that lands on Earth is called a meteorite. Polaris is also known as the North Star. True or false? True. It is located very close to the Earth's north celestial pole. Our solar system is located in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. True or false? False. We are located in one of its outer spiral arms. Auroras, like the northern lights, are caused by solar wind. True or false? True. Particles from the sun interact with Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere. The moon produces its own light. True or false? False. The moon shines by reflecting light from the sun. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches. True or false? True. This is a commonly accepted scientific estimate. Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, is larger than the planet Mercury. True or false? True. It is the largest moon in our solar system. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. True or false? True. Venus rotates very slowly but orbits the sun relatively quickly. Astronauts in space are weightless because there is no gravity. True or false? False. They are in a constant state of free fall around the Earth. Proxima Centauri is the closest star to our Sun. True or false? True. It is part of the Alpha Centauri star system. The Oort cloud is a giant ring of asteroids around the Sun. True or false? False. It is a theoretical distant sphere of icy objects and comets. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, has a thick atmosphere. True or false? True. It is the only moon in our solar system known to have a dense atmosphere. Black holes live forever. True or false? False. It is believed they slowly evaporate over vast periods of time through Hawking radiation. Uranus appears blue because of methane gas in its atmosphere. True or false? True. Methane gas absorbs red light and reflects blue light. The Milky Way galaxy is a spiral galaxy. True or false? True. It has a central bulge and large spiral arms. Saturn's moon Enceladus is known to have geysers. True or false? True. These geysers erupt water ice and vapor from its subsurface ocean. The star Betelgeuse is a blue giant. True or false? False. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star. All stars are the same color. True or false? False. A star's color depends on its temperature, ranging from red to blue-white. A shooting star is actually a star falling to Earth. True or false? False. It is a meteor, a small piece of dust or rock burning up in Earth's atmosphere. Jupiter has the shortest day of all the planets. True or false? ounce in just under 10 hours. Liquid water flows freely on the surface of Mars today. True or false? False. The temperature and pressure are too low, so water exists as ice or vapor. The Hubble Space Telescope orbits the moon. True or false? False. It orbits the Earth. The Big Dipper is a galaxy. True or false? False. It is an asterism, which is a pattern of stars within the constellation Ursa Major. A nebula is a giant cloud of gas and dust in space. True or false? True. Nebulae are often the birthplaces of new stars. The Voyager 1 probe has left our solar system and entered interstellar space. True or false? True. It is the first man-made object to do so. The sun rotates on its axis. True or false? True. It rotates, but at different speeds, at its equator and poles. All moons in our solar system are smaller than the planet Earth. True or false? True. Earth's own moon, Ganymede, and Titan are large, but all are smaller than Earth. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun. True or false? True. This blocks the sun's light from reaching a part of Earth. A lunar eclipse occurs when the sun passes between the Earth and the moon. True or false? False. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. Mars has polar ice caps. True or false? True. These caps are made of water ice and carbon dioxide ice. Sound can travel through the vacuum of space. True or false? False. Sound needs a medium, like air or water, to travel. sphere. True or false? False. It is an oblate spheroid, slightly bulging at the equator. The Kuiper Belt is a region of space located beyond the orbit of Neptune. True or false? True. It is home to dwarf planets like Pluto and many comets. Mercury has a very thick atmosphere. True or false? False. Mercury has an extremely thin exosphere, not a thick atmosphere. The closest galaxy to the Milky Way is the Andromeda Galaxy. True or false? False. Several dwarf galaxies are closer, but Andromeda is the closest large spiral galaxy. Callisto is one of Jupiter's 4 large Galilean moons. True or false? True. The 4 are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. We always see the same side of the moon from Earth. True or false? True. This is due to a phenomenon called tidal locking. The sun is about 4.6 billion years old. True or false? True. It is currently in its middle age as a star. Jupiter's moon Europa is believed to have a subsurface ocean of liquid water. True or false? True. Evidence strongly suggests a large, salty ocean is hidden beneath its icy crust. Io, another of Jupiter's moons, is the most volcanically active body in our solar system. True or false? True. It is covered in hundreds of volcanoes, erupting sulfur and lava. Neptune's largest moon, Triton, orbits the planet in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. True or false? True. This is called a retrograde orbit and suggests Triton was a captured object. Pulsars are rapidly rotating neutron stars. True or false? True. They emit beams of radiation that sweep past Earth, appearing universe is believed to be expanding. True or false? True. Observations of distant galaxies show they are moving away from us. Gravity is the strongest of the four fundamental forces. True or false? False. Gravity is actually the weakest of the four forces. The Big Bang Theory describes the origin of the sun. True or false? False. It describes the origin and expansion of the entire universe. Mars is the second smallest planet in the solar system. True or false? True. Only Mercury is smaller than Mars. The rings of Saturn are made of solid, continuous bands of rock. True or false? False. They are made of billions of individual particles of ice and dust. Ceres, located in the asteroid belt, is classified as a dwarf planet. True or false? True. It is the largest object in the asteroid belt. Earth's atmosphere is composed primarily of oxygen. True or false? False. Earth's atmosphere is about 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. The dark side of the moon never receives sunlight. True or false? False. The far side of the moon gets just as much sunlight as the side we see. We just never see it from Earth. The first human to travel into space was from the Soviet Union. True or false? True. Cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was the first person in space in 1961. The sun is the largest star in the universe. True or false? False. The sun is an average-sized star. Many stars like UY Scuti are vastly larger. A comet's tail always follows directly behind it as it moves. True or false? False. The tail always points away from the sun, pushed by solar wind. The Apollo 11 mission was the first to land humans on the moon. True or false? True. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon in 1969. The James Webb Space Telescope is designed to observe primarily in infrared light. True or false? True. This allows it to see distant objects and look through dust clouds. Dark matter is a hypothetical form of matter that is invisible. True or false? True. It does not emit or absorb light, but its gravity affects stars and galaxies. As the universe expands, it is also getting hotter. True or false? False. The universe is actually cooling down as it expands. Earth is protected by a magnetic field. True or false? True. This field generated by our planet's core deflects harmful solar radiation. A blue moon refers to the second full moon in a single calendar month. True or false? True. It does not refer to the actual color of the moon. Quasars are extremely bright and distant objects powered by black holes. True or false? True. They are the highly luminous centers of very distant active galaxies. It takes sunlight about 8 seconds to reach Earth. True or false? False. It takes sunlight about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to travel to Earth. Neptune is the coldest planet in our solar system. True or false? False. Uranus is colder on average. Neptune is very cold, but typically a bit warmer. All planets in our solar system orbit the sun in the same direction. True or false? True. All 8 planets orbit the sun counterclockwise, as seen from above Earth's North Pole. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to most other planets. True or false? True. This is known as retrograde rotation. The sun makes up about 99.8% of the total mass of our solar system. True or false? True. The planets and all other objects make up just a tiny fraction of the mass. Sirius is the brightest star in our night sky. True or false? True. It is a star in the constellation Canis Major. The first photographs of the far side of the moon were taken by a Soviet probe. True or false? True. The Luna 3 probe took the first pictures in 1959. The planet Uranus is classified as an ice giant. True or false? True. It is composed mostly of ices, such as water, methane, and ammonia. The Oort cloud, a theoretical sphere of comets, has been directly observed by telescopes. True or false? False. It is too distant and faint to be directly observed with current technology. A supermassive black hole is believed to be at the center of our Milky Way galaxy. True or false? True. This black hole is named Sagittarius, a star. Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. True or false? True. These storms can sometimes cover the entire planet. Auroras, or northern lights, only happen on Earth. True or false? False. Auroras have also been observed on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The first planet to be discovered using a telescope was Uranus. True or false? True. It was discovered by William Herschel in 1781. The atmosphere of Mars is primarily composed of oxygen. True or false? False. The atmosphere of Mars is very thin and is mostly carbon dioxide. The hottest part of the sun is its surface. True or false? False. The sun's core is the hottest part, while its outer atmosphere, the corona is hotter than its surface. The moon is slowly moving closer to the Earth. True or false? False. The moon is actually moving away from the Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches per year. There is water ice located on Mercury. True or false? True. Ice exists in permanently shadowed craters near Mercury's poles, where it is protected from the sun. The Earth is the only planet in our solar system known to have active plate tectonics. True or false? True. This process shapes our planet's continents and oceans. The star Antares is a red supergiant. True or false? True. It is one of the largest and most luminous stars visible to the naked eye. In astronomy, redshift means that a light source is moving closer to the observer. True or false? False. Redshift indicates that an object is moving away from the observer. The Milky Way galaxy is the only galaxy in the local group. True or false? False. The local group contains over 50 galaxies, including Andromeda and the Milky Way. Liquid methane and ethane exist in lakes and rivers on Saturn's moon, Titan. True or false? True. Titan is the only other body in our solar system with stable liquid on its surface. A solar flare is a large, cool spot on the sun's surface. True or false? False. A solar flare is an intense and sudden burst of radiation and energy. The sun is currently a main sequence star. True or false? True. This means it is in the stable, hydrogen-burning phase of its life. The Apollo missions brought back rocks from Mars. True or false? False. The Apollo missions brought back rocks and soil from the moon. Jupiter's magnetic field is weaker than Earth's. True or false? Jupiter's magnetic field is the strongest of all planets, about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. The constellation Orion is only visible in the winter. True or false? False. It is most prominent in the winter in the northern hemisphere, but visible at different times worldwide. A light minute is a unit of time. True or false? False. Like a light year, it is a unit of distance, specifically how far light travels in 1 minute. An exoplanet is a planet that orbits a star outside of our solar system. True or false? True. Thousands of exoplanets have been discovered in recent decades. Sunspots are cooler, darker areas on the sun's surface. True or false? True. They are temporary phenomena caused by intense magnetic activity. Eris is a dwarf planet, larger and more massive than Pluto. True or false? False. Eris is more massive, but Pluto is slightly larger in diameter. The Cassini spacecraft was sent to study the planet Jupiter. True or false? False. The Cassini mission was sent to study Saturn and its moons. Comets are often described as dirty snowballs made of ice, dust, and rock. True or false? True. This is because of their composition of frozen gases, rock, and dust. The Viking 1 lander was the first successful spacecraft to operate on the surface of Mars. True or false? True. It landed on Mars in 1976 and sent back the first images from the surface. A white dwarf is the hot, dense core of a star left over after it has exhausted its nuclear fuel. True or false? True. Our sun is expected to become a white dwarf at the end of its life. The Andromeda Galaxy is classified as an elliptical galaxy. True or false? False. Andromeda is a large spiral galaxy similar to our Milky Way. The European Space Agency, USA is the space agency of the United States. True or false? False. NASA is the space agency of the United States. ESA is an organization for European countries. The Perseid meteor shower occurs when Earth passes through the debris trail of a comet. True or false? True. It is associated with the comet Swift-Tuttle. A geostationary orbit means a satellite stays in the exact same spot relative to the Earth's surface. True or false? True. It orbits at the same speed that the Earth rotates. The force of gravity on the moon is stronger than the force of gravity on Earth. True or false? False. The moon's gravity is much weaker, about 1/6 of Earth's gravity. The planet Haumea, a dwarf planet, is shaped like a flattened oval or cigar. True or false? True. Its unusual shape is thought to be the result of its rapid rotation. The primary mission of the Kepler Space Telescope was to search for exoplanets. True or false? True. It successfully discovered thousands of potential exoplanets. The Roche limit is the distance within which a celestial body, held together by gravity, will be torn apart by a planet's tidal forces. True or false? True. This is why moons cannot form too close to a planet, and how rings can be created. Lagrange points are positions in space where the gravitational forces of two large bodies balance out. True or false? True. An object placed at a Lagrange point will remain relatively stable. The sun's energy is produced by chemical combustion. True or false? False. The sun's energy is produced by nuclear fusion in its core. The first woman in space was Sally Ride. True or false? False. The first woman in space was Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova. There are only two main types of galaxies, spiral and elliptical. True or false? also irregular galaxies, which have no distinct, regular shape. The color of a star is an indication of its mass. True or false? False. A star's color is primarily an indication of its surface temperature. The term terminator in astronomy refers to the line separating the light and dark sides of a planet or moon. True or false? True. It is the line of sunrise or sunset as seen on the celestial body. The Mariner 10 mission was the first and only spacecraft to visit the planet Mercury twice. True or false? False. It visited Mercury 3 times, and the Messenger spacecraft later orbited the planet. The asteroid Vesta is the brightest asteroid visible from Earth. True or false? True. It is the second most massive object in the asteroid belt after Ceres. An astronomical unit, or AU, is the average distance from the Sun to Mars. True or false? False. An AU is the average distance from the Sun to the Earth. Jupiter's moon Io has a very old, heavily cratered surface. True or false? False. Io's surface is extremely young and constantly renewed by its intense volcanic activity. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles released from the sun. True or false? True. This stream of plasma flows outward through the solar system. Saturn's moon Mimas has a large crater that makes it resemble the Death Star. True or false? True. The crater is named Herschel and is very prominent. Clearing its orbital neighborhood is part of the official definition of a planet. True or false? True. This is one of the 3 criteria set by the International Astronomical Union in 2006. Saturn's moon Iapetus is known for its dramatic two-tone coloration. True or false? True. One hemisphere is very bright and the other is very dark. The zodiac which the sun, moon, and planets appear to move. True or false? True. It is divided into 12 constellations. The cosmic microwave background radiation is believed to be the afterglow of the Big Bang. True or false? True. It is faint radiation that fills all of space. The Alpha Centauri system is a single massive star. True or false? False. It is a star system consisting of 3 stars, 2 large stars, and a red dwarf. Magnetars are a type of neutron star with an extremely powerful magnetic field. True or false? True. Their magnetic fields are the strongest known in the universe. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time, were first directly detected in 2015. True or false? True. The detection was a major confirmation of Einstein's theory of general relativity. The Mars rover Opportunity operated for its full 90-day mission and then stopped. True or false? False. It continued to operate for over 14 years. The atmospheric pressure on the surface of Venus is much lower than on Earth. True or false? False. The pressure on Venus is about 92 times greater than Earth's. Barnard's star is known for having the fastest proper motion of any star in our sky. True or false? True. This means its apparent position in the sky changes faster than any other star. The total mass of all the asteroids in the main asteroid belt is greater than the mass of Earth's moon. True or false? False. The total mass is significantly less, only about 4% of the moon's mass. The sun is classified as a G-type main sequence star. True or false? True. This classification is based on its temperature and spectrum, often called a yellow dwarf. The first American to walk in space was Neil Armstrong. True or false? False. The first first American spacewalk was performed by astronaut Ed White. The light we see from the Andromeda Galaxy left that galaxy over 2 million years ago. True or false? True. Andromeda is about 2.5 million light years away from us. Jupiter's faint ring system was first discovered by the Voyager 1 spacecraft. True or false? True. The rings were a surprise discovery in 1979. The New Horizons space probe was launched to study Saturn and its moons. True or false? False. The New Horizons mission was launched to study Pluto and the Kuiper Belt. Our Milky Way galaxy is classified as a barred spiral galaxy. True or false? True. This means it has a central bar-shaped structure composed of stars. A planetary nebula is the cloud of debris left over from a supernova explosion. True or false? False. A planetary nebula is the expanding, glowing shell of gas from a dying, low-mass star, like our Sun. On the stellar magnitude scale, a brighter star is given a lower number. True or false? True. For example, a star with magnitude 1 is brighter than a star with magnitude 6. The event horizon is the name for the exact center of a black hole. True or false? False. The event horizon is the boundary around a black hole beyond which light cannot escape. Neptune's largest moon, Triton, has geysers that erupt nitrogen ice. True or false? True. These icy geysers were observed by the Voyager 2 spacecraft. The Great Attractor is a massive black hole in the center of our galaxy. True or false? False. It is a gravitational anomaly in intergalactic space, pulling our galaxy and others toward it. A parsec is a unit of time used in astronomy. True or false? False. A parsec is a unit of distance equal to about 3.26 light years. The WOW signal was a strong radio signal detected from space that remains unexplained. True or false? True. It was a strong narrowband radio signal detected in 1977 that appeared to come from outside the solar system. All asteroids in the solar system are located in the main asteroid belt. True or false? False. There are many other asteroid groups, such as the Trojan asteroids near Jupiter or near-Earth asteroids. The pillars of creation are a famous structure of interstellar gas and dust in the Eagle Nebula. True or false? True. The Hubble Space Telescope took a famous photograph of this star-forming region. A brown dwarf is a type of object that is too small to be a star, but too large to be a planet. True or false? True. They are often called failed stars, as they do not have enough mass to sustain a nuclear fusion of hydrogen. The local bubble is a region of hot, low-density gas within our arm of the Milky Way. True or false? True. Our solar system is currently moving through this sparse region, which was likely carved out by ancient supernovae. The Sun is the most massive object in the Milky Way galaxy. True or false? False. The supermassive black hole at the galaxy's center, Sagittarius A star, is far more massive. The Tully-Fisher relation is an equation used to determine the mass of a planet. True or false? False. It is an empirical relationship used in astronomy to determine the distance of spiral galaxies. The largest moon in our solar system is Titan. True or false? False. The largest moon is Jupiter's moon Ganymede. The constellation Cygnus contains a prominent black hole candidate named Cygnus X1. True or false? True. It was one of the first objects widely accepted to be a black hole. The geocentric model places the Sun at the center of the universe. True or false? False. The geocentric model, proposed by Ptolemy, placed the Earth at the center. The heliocentric model places the Earth at the center of the solar system. True or false? False. The heliocentric model, championed by Copernicus, correctly places the sun at the center. The star Canopus is the second brightest star in the night sky. True or false? True. Only Sirius is brighter than Canopus. The planet Jupiter radiates more heat into space than it receives from the sun. True or false? True. This internal heat is generated by the slow gravitational compression of the planet. The Goldilocks zone is the region around a star where conditions are too hot for liquid water. True or false? False. It is the habitable zone where conditions are just right for liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. The Trojan asteroids are asteroids that share an orbit with a planet, such as Jupiter. True or false? True. They are located in the stable Lagrange, 0.60 degrees ahead of and behind the planet. The Chandrasekhar limit is the maximum mass of a stable white dwarf star. True or false? True. Above this mass, a white dwarf will collapse, potentially leading to a supernova. The first satellite, Sputnik 1, was launched by the United States. True or false? False. It was launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. The asteroid belt is located between the orbits of Venus and Earth. True or false? False. It is located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. The Sol is the name for one day on Mars. True or false? True. A Martian sol is slightly longer than an Earth day, at about 24 hours and 39 minutes. The Rosetta mission was a space probe that successfully orbited and landed on a comet. True or false? True. The ESA mission studied comet 67P/Churyumov-Gerasimenko and deployed the Philae lander. The Kepler 186f was the first Earth-sized exoplanet discovered in the habitable zone of another star. True or false? True. This discovery was a significant milestone in the search for potentially habitable worlds. The moon orbits the Earth in a perfect circle. True or false? False. The moon's orbit is elliptical, meaning its distance from Earth varies. The Milky Way is named after its hazy, milk-like appearance in the night sky. True or false? True. This appearance is due to the combined light of billions of stars in our galaxy's disk. The celestial equator is an imaginary line in the sky directly above Earth's equator. True or false? True. It is a fundamental reference line used in astronomical coordinate systems. The Hubble constant describes the speed at which the universe is shrinking. True or false? False. It describes the rate at which the universe is expanding. The planet Haumea, a dwarf planet, is shaped like a flattened oval or cigar. True or false? True. Its unusual shape is thought to be the result of its rapid rotation. A day on Mercury, from one sunrise to the next, is longer than its entire year. True or false? True. Mercury's solar day is 176 Earth days, while its year is only 88 Earth days. Saturn's moon Enceladus ejects water ice into space, which forms Saturn's E-ring. True or false? True. Geysers on Enceladus spray plumes of ice and water vapor. The surface of Uranus's moon Miranda appears very chaotic and jumbled. True or false? True. It has a bizarre surface with vast canyons and varied terrain, suggesting major geological upheaval. The sun's outer atmosphere, the corona, is much cooler than its visible surface. True or false? False. The corona is millions of degrees, making it mysteriously much hotter than the sun's surface. The photosphere. Solar sails are a method of spacecraft propulsion that uses the pressure from sunlight. True or false? continuous push from photons, light particles, can propel a spacecraft. The International Space Station is visible to the naked eye from Earth. True or false? True. It looks like a very bright, fast-moving star or airplane in the night sky. An astronaut on Mars would weigh the same as they do on Earth. True or false? False. Mars has weaker gravity, so an astronaut would weigh about 1/3 of their Earth weight. Earth's ozone layer is a region in the atmosphere that absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. True or false? True. This layer is crucial for protecting life on the surface. The bright star Vega is the most prominent star in the constellation Lyra. True or false? True. It is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and part of the summer triangle. All stars eventually end their lives as black holes. True or false? False. Only the most massive stars end as black holes. Smaller stars like our sun end as white dwarfs. Asteroids are primarily made of rock and metal, while comets are primarily made of ice and dust. True or false? True. This is the main compositional difference between the two. The dwarf planet Pluto has only one moon. True or false? False. Pluto has 5 known moons: Charon, Styx, Nix, Kerberos, and Hydra. Makemake is a dwarf planet that orbits the Sun in the Kuiper Belt. True or false? True. It is one of the large objects discovered in the region beyond Neptune. The moon has a thick atmosphere that protects it from meteoroids. True or false? False. The moon has an extremely thin layer called an exosphere, which offers no real protection. The first animal to successfully orbit the Earth was a dog named Laika. True or false? True. Laika, a Soviet space dog, orbited Earth aboard Sputnik 2 in 1957. Our sun orbits the center of the Milky Way galaxy. True or or false? True. It takes the sun about 230 million years to complete one orbit. Light pollution is the brightening of the night sky by artificial light, which interferes with astronomy. True or false? True. It washes out the view of stars and faint celestial objects. Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, is an organization that listens for signals from alien civilizations. True or false? True. It uses radio telescopes to search for signs of technology elsewhere in the galaxy. The first American woman to travel to space was Sally Ride. True or false? True. She flew aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1983. The Alpha Centauri system is the closest star system to our sun. True or false? True. The system contains Proxima Centauri, the individual star closest to us. The definition of a planet is any large, round object that orbits a star. True or false? False. A planet must also have cleared its orbital neighborhood of other debris. Red dwarf stars are the most common type of star in the Milky Way galaxy. True or false? True. These cool dim stars are very numerous and live for trillions of years. The Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico was a massive radio telescope. True or false? True. For decades, it was the largest single-dish radio telescope in the world before it collapsed in 2020. The Event Horizon Telescope Network was responsible for capturing the first ever direct image of a black hole. True or false? True. In 2019, they released the image of the supermassive black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy. The Great Dark Spot was a persistent storm, similar to Jupiter's red spot, observed on the planet Saturn. True or false? False. The Great Dark Spot was a large storm system observed on Neptune by the Voyager 2 spacecraft. The Parker Solar Probe is the human-made object that has flown closest has repeatedly flown through the sun's upper atmosphere, or corona. Pluto's largest moon, Charon, is so large that both Pluto and Charon orbit a point in space outside of Pluto. True or false? True. This makes them a binary system, mutually tidally locked. The Andromeda Galaxy is slightly smaller than our Milky Way galaxy. True or false? False. Andromeda is estimated to be larger and contain more stars than the Milky Way. The Drake equation is a formula used to calculate the orbital speed of planets. True or false? False. It is a probabilistic argument used to estimate the number of active, communicative civilizations in our galaxy. Mercury is the only planet in our solar system that has no moons. True or false? False. Both Mercury and Venus have no natural moons. The Great Filter is a hypothesis suggesting that a major barrier prevents intelligent life from becoming interstellar. True or false? True. It is one proposed solution to the Fermi paradox, the lack of evidence for alien civilizations. A quasar is the name given to a very large, dying star just before it explodes. True or false? False. A quasar is an extremely luminous active galactic nucleus powered by a supermassive black hole. The frost line is an imaginary boundary in a solar system beyond which volatile compounds like water can freeze. True or false? True. This line separates where rocky planets, inner and gas ice giants, outer form. Spaghettification is the scientific term for the stretching of an object as it falls into a black hole. True or false? True. It is caused by the extreme difference in gravitational pull on the object's near and far sides. Nicholas Copernicus was the first person in history to propose that the Earth orbits the Sun. True or false? False. The ancient Greek astronomer Aristarchus of Samos proposed a heliocentric model over 1,000 years earlier. The constellation Ursa Minor, or the Little Bear, contains the North Star Polaris. True or false? Venus is located at the end of the Little Dipper's handle. The famous Horsehead Nebula is a dark nebula located within the constellation Orion. True or false? True. It is a dark cloud of dust and gas silhouetted against a brighter nebula. Globular clusters are tightly bound groups of hundreds of thousands of very old stars. True or false? True. They are found in the halo of our galaxy and contain some of the most ancient stars. Open clusters are groups of young, recently formed stars that are loosely bound by gravity. True or false? True. They are typically found in the disk of a spiral galaxy, like the Pleiades cluster. Small animals known as tardigrades or water bears have been shown to survive exposure to the vacuum of space. True or false? True. They are known for their extreme resilience and ability to survive in harsh conditions. The Hertzsprung-Russell HR diagram plots a star's temperature against its luminosity. True or false? True. It is a fundamental tool used by astronomers to classify stars and understand their evolution. The Van Allen belts are two zones of charged particles trapped by Earth's magnetic field. True or false? True. They protect the Earth from harmful solar wind, but can be hazardous to satellites. A light echo is an astronomical phenomenon where light from an explosion, like a supernova, reflects off distant dust clouds. True or false? True. This allows astronomers to see the light from the event multiple times. Albedo is the measure of how much light a celestial body reflects. True or false? True. A high albedo, like ice, means it reflects a lot of light, while low albedo, like charcoal, means it absorbs it. The Messier objects are a catalog of nebulae, star clusters, and galaxies compiled by Charles Messier. True or false? True. He cataloged them so they would not be mistaken for comets. The NASA Gemini program was the second human spaceflight program, serving as a bridge between Mercury and Apollo. True or false? spacewalks needed for the moon landing. The International Space Station orbits the Earth approximately once every 90 minutes. True or false? True. This high speed means the crew on board can see about 16 sunrises and sunsets every day. The star Sirius, the brightest star in our sky, is a binary system with a white dwarf companion named Sirius B. True or false? True. Sirius B was one of the first white dwarfs ever discovered. Neutrinos are subatomic particles that have no mass at all. True or false? False. It was once thought they were massless, but it is now known they have a very tiny but non-zero mass. The Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud are two different names for the same region of space. True or false? False. The Kuiper Belt is a disc-shaped region beyond Neptune, while the Oort cloud is a much larger, spherical shell far beyond the Kuiper Belt. The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. True or false? True. This is the most widely accepted estimate based on observations of the cosmic microwave background. The Gegenschein is a faint glow in the night sky caused by sunlight reflecting off city lights. True or false? False. It is a faint patch of light opposite the sun caused by sunlight reflecting off interplanetary dust. The atmosphere of Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is composed primarily of nitrogen. True or false? True. Titan's atmosphere is surprisingly dense and nitrogen-rich, much like Earth's. The background temperature of empty space is absolute zero. True or false? False. Space has a faint background temperature of about 2.7 Kelvin, which is the afterglow of the